Hello everybody and welcome to the D2CL today, our second series here with LGD facing up against IG. This should be a good one, this should be pretty close, and looking at the picks and bans, in fact let's head over straight into the draft. Storm Spirit is still there and available for IG. Slash, are they going to take it? They're taking their time thinking about it.
Pretty sure.
Yep, I was pretty damn sure it was going to happen. Sure. I guess it's like the consideration about the second pick. Do we go Storm and Jugger as our first 1-2? We really love those heroes, but going with the Lion as the second pick is a lot more stable.
Yeah, denying LGD the possibility of a counter pick as well. I mean, it's freaking IG, man.
Yeah.
Ferrari Storm Spirit is kind of a no-brainer here. LGD, they're happy with it, maybe SF though as well.
Yeah.
I think both teams are very, very evenly matched overall. I don't know what the bets are saying.
It's actually, again, oddly skewed towards IG, but you made the point, they've just come off the back of the MAS, the Major All-Stars victory. They're looking very good. Burning has joined. So all of these factors are going into, the public's view of IG being one of the strongest, if not the strongest Chinese squad out there right now. But it's 76-24 for IG. I think LGD, it's a lot closer to, 60-40.
Yeah, I mean, for the Starlighter qualifier, they nearly beat IG in the winner bracket final, and that would have secured them a place. Or was it winner bracket final or was it grand final? I don't know. Like, either way, they lost 2-1 to IG, and the last one was a grueling match, which could have gone either way. Just a few small decisions that were off by LGD, which caused them to lose the game in the end. But I think both teams are incredibly evenly matched. It's basically, if you have, say, a 10-game series, I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up being 5-for-5. Yeah. And I think overall, LGD, IG, VG game, those three teams are currently above the rest, really. But those can always, in any day, given day, beat each other as well.
Quite interesting there that LGD decided to go for the Rubik and not the Vengeful Spirit. Shadowfiend and Venge are these two heroes that are so commonly paired together with the minus armor they've got. Direside as well gives them that nice little advantage at Roshan with the minus armor of Presence of the Dark Lord and Wave of Terror. But with the Rubik, it gives you a little more, zoning capability. Your laning presence is a lot stronger as a Rubik over a Vengeful Spirit. And it gives you options to steal things like Finger of Death, Earth Spike, Ball Lightning. The world is your oyster as Rubik in this game so far. Limiting IG here a little bit, I would say. So they can't pick up something, well, they can pick up something like a Tidehunter, Enigma, those big teamfight ultimate heroes, but they have to be very, very wary about where they're going and what they're doing.
Yeah, pretty much. I think both teams know each other incredibly well. There is a joke running around in Chinese circuits, that since Faith used to be on LGD, and he underperformed heavily on LGD. He just stole all of LGD's secrets and now went onto IG, and they're starting to stomp games. So everything went according to plan. People are saying that he always wanted to return to IG at some point anyway. It's just scouting out the opposition by playing for them for some time.
Yeah.
That's one way of looking at things, I guess. But IG, they pick up the Bristleback, a fairly flexible hero that could go towards either the safe lane or the off lane. We've seen both Burning and Lure play the hero. Razor still in the pool is often being used as a sole counter pick to the Bristleback. And if you can farm up a Razor, he also gets fairly scary. And it's one of the maybe heroes. I don't think Sylar likes the hero that much, although I've seen him play it. But preferably it's more the maybe Razor, if anything at all.
Well, with the Storm Spirit on the enemy team, you're looking at Sylar and thinking, do you go for the Anti-Mage this game? Later on in the draft, obviously, that's going to pop up, and we'll see where you go with it. But third pick now, Offlaner is most common. Secondary support is probably just after that. LGD. Do you go for something a little bit greedier here? I don't know if you want to just sit back and let Bristleback farm Ancients. Allow Storm Spirit to take control of the Radiant jungle. You want some active supports that, you want someone who can run around with Rubik. And we've seen a lot of Rubik Lina. Yeah, they're going to go for that.
Yeah, it's LGD, one of the teams that also likes to run the support Lina quite a lot. Overall, I think it's mostly Chinese teams who only run support Lina. Like, I have very rarely seen them solo mid Lina, although it's a common thing in Pubs, apparently. But in European matches, we almost exclusively see the solo mid Lina. For IG, Wisp is still in the pool. They could run the Wisp Bristleback off lane. I'm not sure how comfortable they are with running it, though.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. They like to leave Luo up on that top lane all alone, so he can do his own thing, really. And putting Chuan up there alongside him, Chuan likes to do his own thing. These are two players that like to go around and make things happen on the map themselves. They don't really like to tie themselves down, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they put Dazzle and Bristleback up on that top lane as a dual lane.
It's certainly a possibility, but overall, Dazzle also fairly good zoning support. LGD, they haven't picked up their offlaner just yet. Phoenix is in the pool. They could consider doing the Yao Phoenix. Blind is a bit annoying overall later in the game, but yeah, they have two ranged supports though, so if they really want to zone out the Phoenix, they certainly can.
Yeah, most certainly. Wow, LGD go for the offlane Doom.
Could be safe lane Doom. I've seen it from Vici Gaming a lot.
Yeah, could be. We'll see where it goes. I mean, against Dazzle and Bristleback, Doom doesn't have too much armor, so we're going to be expecting to see him, go for a relatively early Vlad's, or just pick up a casual plate mail at some point in the game, sort of 25, 30 minutes in, or else he's going to get crushed here. The minus armor from Goo and Weave.
Yeah, Tranquil Boots are like the natural progression here. If they're thinking of running an offlane, he's really good against Storm, of course, one of the hardest counters to the hero, and with Storm, you don't even need to buy an Aghanim Scepter to actually disable. It's really good against Bristleback, though. If you can get Doom, like Aghanim's Doom onto the Bristleback, then the hero becomes completely worthless since his passive is disabled as well. And Bristleback just runs around, isn't particularly tanky, and you just beat the crap out of him.
Well, fifth ban now from IG. They ban out the Juggernaut, so they're looking at Doom being off lane. Yeah, taking out the one role heroes definitely, I feel, the way to go. Whereas LGD, Bristle off lane with the Dazzle possibly supporting him up on the top. Lion, he's going to be down on bot lane, running around, stacking, pulling. They need a hero that can do a lot of damage, apparently. They've taken out the Drow Ranger. Burning has been playing quite a lot of that with some great success. And with the Storm Spirit, who can give up that Drow aura?
Yeah. Certainly, let's see, what else could they pick for Burning? For LGD, I think they are considering picking up the Sylar Dusa. That's I think an option. So IG might be aware of it and try to do something about it. Anti-Mage, not very likely though for IG. Axe is banned, right? Yeah, it's banned.
Oh, sorry, sorry. Yeah, banned by IG themselves. I sort of skipped over that. I looked at all the LGD bans, I was like, there's no Axe there, and then IG, yeah, you're totally right. But I don't know, they've got the Brawler with the Bristleback, they've got the long-range initiation with the Storm Spirit. It kind of feels like Burning needs that middle ground hero. Someone who can farm for, 20 minutes or so, and go and fight with the Bristle relatively early on.
Clinks? I would like to see the return of Burning Clinks, actually. It wouldn't be too bad this game, actually. He can kill the Yasaf, Rubik, Lina really easily. Doom is kind of hard to catch up to him. I think Clinks might be a nice surprise pick if they go for it. Otherwise, of course, Morphling kind of being the safe choice here. The LGD might run Anti-Mage for Sylar either way. Anti-Mage or Dusa, I think, are the two big options there.
Oh, wow.
Okay, let's go brawling, boys.
Is that actually going to be for Burning? Or is it going to be Bristol?
I'm pretty sure it's Burning Brewmaster. He used to play it on DK since Mushi didn't play Brewmaster.
Okay. Interesting. Well, that's a decent enough hero. He's good at brawling along with the Bristleback, getting that early 20 minutes of farm, but going late game, it's a little bit scary for IG. They can't do what they did in CDEC a couple of minutes ago or 20 minutes ago, where they go behind in the lanes. These lanes have to be won by IG. They need to get that key Blink Dagger up on Brew. They need Storm Spirit to have enough space to farm his Bloodstone and Orchid.
It's looks a bit like the drafted CDEC had against HGT the other day, where they also last pick the Brewmaster, but at least IG have Storm to fall back on. Bristleback is not half bad at sieging either. Bristleback can be pretty boss, but they are definitely going to look to end the game by mid game. Safe lane Doom, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, with the Timbersaw, we've seen how devastating he's been on this hero, and up against Bristle and Brew. These two strength heroes, they're going to get their HP pools shredded by the Whirling Death.
Mm-hmm.
So LGD, Shao 8, Lina.
That LGD's draft looks so much like a Vici gaming draft, like Super SF, then How, Doom, Ice-Sized Timbersaw, and then FY Rubik, Fenrir, Lina. I think that's almost the exact same draft that Vici ran at some point. I'm going to have to look for it now. I think it's almost the exact lineup that Vici ran at some point. Maybe even against LGD.
Entirely possible. IG, though, they've got Luo on that bristleback. Dazzle played by Faith. Now, Ferrari's on the Storm Spirit, so Burning will be on that Brewmaster. And they've got Chuan sitting on that Lion.
They're trying on the playmaking hero instead of the Wisp. I think he's going to be happy for the change of pace here. I'm looking for a lot of fights early game, though. I think this is going to be an all-out brawl match. Both the supports are good at fighting. Both of the offliners are good at fighting, and even the safe lane can get involved. I mean, Sylar, Doom, not exactly a common hero. I've seen him play it, but it's all possible. Are you constant lagging as well? Or?
No, I'm fine.
Screen is kind of frozen for me.
You
for some
will
reason.
have to restart Steam. We've had this before where you get uncompressed updates where the Perfect World servers or something are sending you updates that you cannot download.
Okay, just reconnecting doesn't work?
Sometimes it works, but the quickest way overall is just to restart the game and restart Steam.
I'm trying for an early reconnect. If that doesn't work, I'm just gonna relog on Steam. That's fine.
Well, LGD heading into the Radiant jungle here. Zhao 8 playing that Lina while Salah on the safe lane. Doom Yao on Timbersaw. Maybe playing the Shadow Fiend and straggling behind a little bit. MMY on the Rubik. Burning. Brewmaster to scout them out, and IG just going to back themselves up. They don't want to go into a head-on-head level 1 engagement here, because they'll just get crushed by LGD. Faith on the Dazzle has enough heals and things like that, but they don't have any stuns really outside of Chuan. Getting into that brawl early on isn't going to be what they want. Ferrari on the Storm, of course, and up on top lane, Luo playing the Bristleback.
It's fine for me, by the way. So they did put down actually 2 wards to block out the pull camp. Just gonna annoy them a little bit. Chuan started out with boots first, so no sentry wards to be had for him. What about Dazzle? He's got 1 sentry ward, but they can probably get rid of one of those.
Well, I don't know if they put it in the spot there, though, inside that tree.
Yeah,
it does catch that one, right?
Yeah, it does. It should at least. Yeah,
we're seeing an aggressive tri lane here. We're seeing Silo and the Doom go aggressive into the burning Brewmaster.
That's unusual, since Doom himself doesn't exactly offer that much killing potential. I suppose if you get early boots and Orb of Venom, you can start right-clicking people down.
Well, he's got lots of right-click based attack damage. 62, his attack animation isn't that bad, and couple it up with the disables they've got from Rubik and Lina. They can lock down Chuan pretty easily. It's just whether or not they can kill Burning himself.
Yeah, probably not, no. They just want to apply a bit of pressure so he doesn't comfortably farm on the lane and get his Blink Dagger. Mid-lane matchup, SF Shadow Fiend, it's Shadow Fiend against the Storm Spirit, that's kind of a classic matchup from Dota 1 days even.
Well, the only difference is now that Storm had his attack range reduced from 600 to 480.
Yeah, I think it's currently advantage SF, really.
Well,
yes.
It's a difficult one because the very first initial waves, with the Remnant, you can really control creep equilibrium and push the lane out a little bit and then pull it back. And you're also getting the first last hits. So you get in there, Shadow Fiend doesn't have great damage. With the Wraith Band, sure, he's going to try and right-click you down a bit, but Ferrari's always going to be trading evenly, if not better. So, maybe he can. There is always the potential for outplay and outskill, so there is the chance for Shadow Fiend to win the first couple of waves. Then, once SF hits level 3 to 5, that's when the big old razors start coming out. Ferrari can no longer go into the middle of the wave. Things start turning around, and then it flips again when Storm Spirit hits level 6, because he's got some form of kill potential in the SF.
Yeah, the advantage that Storm has over SF is once he hits 60, of course, he gets the rune control, which is way easier than the SF does. And then he can kill the SF way easier than the SF can kill the Storm. It's just SF, if he survives the first 2 levels, where Storm is at his strongest with Overload level 2, then it gets a lot easier, really. Level 3, and then SF can pull ahead and get a boots bottle up or even early tread, so he can survive the Storm onslaught. Top lane, Timbersaw against Bristleback. That's not a very common matchup we see. I don't even know who's got the advantage here. Normally, Timbersaw is really good against those melee strength heroes, but Bristle, he does hit rather hard.
Yeah, I think it's another one of those situations where, level 1 to 3, I'd say Bristleback has the slight advantage because he's got the better attack animation, slightly better attack damage, so he'll be able to control the lane and get more last hits in there. Yao will try his damned hardest to get Whirling Deaths into Luo. But then once Timbersaw starts getting levels of his own, he's going to be spamming out Whirling Death, pushing the lane back, and trying to control Luo with Timbersaw, Timber Chain. He's going to reduce the amount of kill potential that the Bristleback has on him by quite a large margin.
Yeah.
But all these solo lanes, they've got all these interesting nuances, and they go back and forth depending on levels and item progressions on heroes, of course. That's kind of without factoring in the skill or potential for mistakes there. While this aggressive against defensive tri-lane, Dazzle is always good in a defensive tri-lane. Got the Grave, got the heal, and if you go for the aggressive build with Poison Touch, you can turn things back around onto squishy supports like Rubik and Lina.
The advantage that LGD have is with their 2 range support who have really good. Well, Lina has really high range. The attacking animation is kind of mediocre, but MM-wise, Rubik fairly easy to set up kills with. The thing is, I don't think they can kill stuff because they have a Doom as their core on the lane. And burning Brewmaster is fairly decent. I mean, he's going to struggle a little bit for mana with Thunderclap, and his base mana pool is rather piss poor. He's basically on lane. Before you get Bottle or Arcane, but you can only use 2 claps, and that's it.
Barely even that.
Yeah. I mean, level 1, it's 90 mana. He uses it 2 times, and that's it. Yao having a bit of ping issues, apparently. It's fluctuating for him. So let's hope he's going to be alright.
Well, Radiant, they've got a really good brawling lineup. Once they get Blink Dagger up on Burning, they can start looking to dive towers. But it comes down to key item progression from IG, whereas LGD, it's a lot about levels. Devour on Doom means that he doesn't have to really focus that hard on keeping his GPM going. He can just devour creeps, keep that going that way. MMY and Zhao 8, sure enough, they'd like mobility items. They'd like to build up into Arcane Boots and a bunch of stats. But they don't necessarily need it. IG need levels and items. Bristleback needs to tank up. More likely than not, he'll go for the mech this game. Treads, bottle, mech, so they can keep themselves pushing into towers, keep the momentum going, while Storm Spirit... I don't know, Orchid... Do you go for the Orchid Rush, or do you still just go the regular Treads, bottle, Soaring, Bloodstone? Because Orchid against Timbersaw, against Lina, really potent.
Yeah, it's always a bit of a struggle, I think. Though Timber is really tanky. I don't know, can they kill Timber without Orchid on Stormy? I guess with Lion they could. Personally, I would probably still go for Bloodstone in this game. It's because you can't really. It's difficult to prevent you from getting lifted into Lightstrike Array and maybe burst down or something. Yeah, exactly. It's a bit hard. I think he needs the HP, just the naked HP to survive some of the bursts that comes out from the LGD.
Yeah, I think that's the feeling that's been going around as well, which is why Bloodstone has seen this surge in popularity as a first item pickup. We used to see it all the time. People go Arcane Boots on Storm and then disassemble them to go into Bloodstone. But since the change, now it's a Soul Ring instead of the Perseverance. It just feels that little bit more comfortable to build into. The Soul Ring on Storm Spirit, giving you that burst of mana, so you've always got that out. You've got a way of escape. Really useful. What's Chuan saying now?
That Lure has a few issues.
Oh dear.
I don't really know. He's not specifying what those issues are, but
how?
Yeah.
How isn't here? There's no how
here.
It
means fine. Actually, the Chinese word. But the thing is, you pronounce it differently. The how, the player how will be pronounced how in Chinese, and what who was it? Maybe just wrote how means good, fine, it's okay. Yeah. So yeah,
the inflection.
The inflection is different, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of Latin letters, it's spelled the same way, but it's pronounced differently. And even if some words you pronounce the same, you still write them differently, and they have different meanings. Chinese is a complicated language overall.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, for the Chinese, English is fairly difficult, or all kinds of European languages, because they're just not used to it that much. Most Chinese players, they know the basic phrases in English, and that's pretty much it. still remember the times when you listen to the Chinese casts, and whenever they saw European players, they didn't know how to pronounce their names properly, then they would start, just pronouncing them letter by letter, in effect. So Hani was pronounced H4ANN1, I think.
Really?
Yeah, that's what they said the whole time. So H4NN1 or something. That's exactly what they said every single time. It just sounded incredibly awkward. So because nobody knew he was pronounced Hani. So
That's interesting.
and Chvost was, of course, pronounced XBOCT the whole time.
Of course.
Yeah.
We
Okay,
might have to have a remake here. It's looking a little bit dodgy. Maybe.
Please get on with it. I need to catch a train at some point.
Maybe brings himself a few more tangos here. And we're seeing this a lot more, especially from Chinese players, I want to say, at the mid lane. I think European and Western players are a little more afraid to delay their bottle further. But giving yourself a salve like Ferrari has, he's far away from his bottle. He's got null, he's got salve, a couple of branches, and then pulled some tangos. But it just allows you to play that little more aggressively in lane. You get that dominance. You get into the mind of your opponent. You're like, okay, well, I'm going to take these last hits, and there's nothing you can do about it because I've got a salve and you don't.
Yeah, I still remember the times when Mushi played Queen of Fate mid, and he had this rather infamous 4 branches plus circlet build that he used to have. Like, he bought 4 branches, circlet S plus 6 stats to everything, and then 2 salves, and just postured up mid lane and started whacking people. I mean, it's been falling out of favor since, first of all, in sort of slots, it's not particularly efficient if you have to drop them one by one every single time. And then again, most people kind of rush bottle, and with the early level 1 bounty rune, sometimes even though you get the last hit advantage and a right-click advantage, the opposing mid can just bottle up instead, and everything goes to naught.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Rubik. I never understood this set. Like, I like everything about it apart from his face. It looks like a frog. It looks so funny.
Is it supposed to be like a frog? And looks, I don't know, like the throat area looks more like
a snake, a cobra.
Snake, exactly. Yeah.
I don't know.
Snake
I'm not sure. His face just looks frog-like. Did we look at the effigies? I think we've seen IGs before already. Yeah, Ferrari with his big swooping juggernaut. LGDs. What do we have? Maybe has a Morphling one. I'll come back to that later. I don't think there's anything too interesting here. MMY with a Wisp. Okay. Yeah, Wisp effigy is the worst. Why would you ever waste your money on this?
I don't know. I don't have an effigy.
You didn't buy the compendium, did you?
No, I didn't buy a compendium.
I've got...
I know it's kind of blasphemic, but hey.
I mean, it looks nothing like Wisp. When does he have these little balls flying out of him?
I don't know. Yao's is also like rather standard. It's just an invoker thing.
What does it say? I've got someone who can freaking tell me. Yeah. The other day I was looking at effigies and thinking, it's nice and all, but if I knew what the inscription said, it would be a lot better. But what does Yao say?
Oh, it basically means. I'm actually thinking of the suitable translation for it. It basically means gaining MMR easily. Yeah.
So basically, I'm gonna wreck you. Is what it says. Yeah.
Pretty much.
That's pretty much what it says.
It's kind of a Chinese phrase, so it's a bit difficult to translate into English. Okay. Really.
See, this is what Ferrari's allowed to do. He doesn't really care about taking a few hits here and there from the creep wave, from maybe. He just stops the Shadow Fiend from getting last hits, throwing out the
game, please.
Oh dear.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt your thought process on mid lane.
Well, we're already 40 minutes behind. The game has basically just started. But yeah, Ferrari just goes up onto the ramp. He's not looking to, deny really. He's just trying to stop maybe from getting the last hit. He doesn't care about denying too much. He's just stopping maybe from getting his bottle at this point. Oh, maybe misses the first raise. And Ferrari just runs at him. He doesn't give a damn. He's still got his regen, got a couple of tangos, the salve. He's burning through a little bit of mana. But maybe he's coming out worse for wear in this trade.
Yeah, the thing is, Ferrari knows he can do it since he has a salve on, which just allows him to instantly regen and back up. And I mean, if you buy more regen on the opposing mid, then you have to take advantage of that fact.
Yeah. Up on top lane, how are we looking? Timbersaw with 2 last hits while Bristle has 7, so there's that early advantage we were looking for down on bot. Burning taking a few right clicks from Zhao 8.
It's kind of MMY farming though, because Sylar was running around and not finding a creep. He still hasn't used Devour. There we go. So he kind of wasted a lot of time there. I mean, I guess it's not too bad to get both of your supports level 2 though.
Wait, so where did those wolves go? There's an alpha. Oh, with a triple stun, but then they don't have follow up. It's just a bit of scare tactics from Chuan. Where did the alpha wolves go then?
I have no clue.
There's only one left. There's only a little doggy left.
Wait, what? He didn't use Devour beforehand though, because he doesn't have the passive abilities.
He didn't go. Okay, I'm not sure. Maybe that was something we could have seen while we were paused up. Up at top, this is where Yao starts coming back into things. 6 last hits up now for him. And he's not looking too shabby, but you've got Ferrari mid lane. Really mixing things up.
He's currently doubling up maybe. Maybe he's hit level 3, so he's gonna be happy. Ferrari is gonna control the top bounty rune. There's a DD on bot lane, but... Oh,
Hex put the 3-man life strike array. MMY, telekinesis is at the ready. Burning still goes for the clap down onto the Rubik.
Yeah, they know they can't really kill him though. Although they probably could, since what they do not know is Faith doesn't have Shadow Grace yet.
Oh. Not holding on to skill points. I guess he must have gone for poison touch just then when they were playing aggressively into them.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, Ferrari against maybe. Oh, look at it. Maybe he's trying to go for the raises, but he just cannot do it. Getting pretty massively outplayed here by Ferrari. 19 for 6 against 11 for 4. Almost doubling up on the last hits. Bot lane, Faith. Oh, he's stunned up. He's going to die here. No grave. He's slowed down. Sylar can't chase, but the final right click in from Zhao 8 will seal the deal. And Chuan is over here with the DD rune, stacking and pulling through. But unfortunately, there isn't a full camp there to pull through into.
Yeah. Let's see if Flyder picks up in what's on the core. Yeah, I think he's gonna go for early Tranquil Pulse. I thought might have been a really good option to go for the Orb of Venom. Top lane is fairly even.
Yeah, that's the thing. You know, Bristleback takes the early lead for the first 2 or 3 levels, and then Yao with a level 3 Whirling Death says, "Okay, it's my turn to have some fun now." Not actually going for the Timber Chain is a little interesting for me. Go Sylar. Chased and dropped down in this bot Radiant jungle.
That was a bit of a weird play overall. I mean, Lina went back to base to regen back up, so he wanted to steal the camp. Pays for it with his life. Overall, Sylar has not been really on point. I think some of his plays recently have been a bit lackluster. I think, they lost the game to Vici game. I think a big part of it was Sylar getting caught the whole time. Rather uncharacteristically, though. Yeah.
For those of you just joining us, this is game number 1 here between LGD and IG in the D2CL Chinese group stages. IG looking to take the early lead here. Sylar did fall down in the bot lane and heads back into the jungle. Are they sacking bot lane? Is Sylar just going to play off lane now? Do they switch things up? Because the 2 supports have smoked and looped all the way around back towards mid, trying to catch Ferrari. But he's hit, yeah, exactly. He has hit level 6. MMY cannot start things off with telekinesis. Ferrari too quick on the fingers.
Yep, it's gonna zip towards the high ground, and once again he knew the direction that was coming, and it goes towards the bot rune instead. And Sylar is really not that happy. He's only level 3, can't really go back to lane. They have an observer waiting for him, so they know every single time that he's rotating. So the aggro tri lane with that death on Sylar not working out that well. They managed to get first blood, which is nice, but how's the progression right now? It's hard.
Yeah, exactly, and Yao is going to be here sitting thinking, well, I don't want to leave this lane. I've worked so hard to bring it back and get some last hits up here. He will probably have to... Sylar permanently jungling now. Are they just going to leave Burning to farm freely on this bot? Get himself a Blink Dagger really quickly. Oh, Chuan, yeah, maybe he's going to go in for the razors. 2 razors.
1, 2.
Ooh, yep. Just about landing.
MLG no scope.
Yeah, uphill, no high ground vision. Chuan, though, had nowhere to run. He could have tried to juke into the Ancients, but it's always difficult. Sometimes you just think, I've got to run in a straight line. That's my best chance of escape. Light Strike Array being dodged there by Luo up at top.
he knew that Lina was there as well. Before the absorb expired by now, but he saw Xiaoid rotating in, so he definitely knew what was up. And Faith also joining up towards top lane. Casual Shadow Wave being thrown. A very aggressive skill but there from the Dazzle. And they might go on him instead. Yep, there you go.
Yeah, looks like it. Pretty easy.
So, yeah. That TP support, not that useful. Instead, feeding a kill to the enemy.
Oh. Silo and Burning having a bit of a man fight underneath the die tier 1, and Burning actually winning out with level 3 clap. And he's not too far away from level 6. The one thing Silo would have to worry about maybe was the stick charges. Burning with a bunch of 7 stick charges could have popped ultimate if he had it.
Yeah. Silo being forced to go back to base. It's a bit of an awkward situation since Burning is constantly pushing in bot lane as well with Basilius on. So one of them has to kind of defend the lane and prevent the tower from falling. At the same time, Silo, if he stays bot lane, he can't farm either.
Ferrari trying to be a sneaky little devil, heading into the dire jungle, looking for the stacks, but there are none to be had. He's still invis and might go for the kill here on maybe. Chuan is ready. With his level 2 Earth Spike, yeah,
there's a sentry ward. There's a sentry ward.
Oh, that's true. They see him now. They know he's there. Maybe just is he baiting? They know. Surely they see him. Ferrari still goes in. They baited it and turned it back around. Light Strike Ray not gonna land.
That was really unfortunate. That was nearly perfectly timed. It's very difficult to pull off there since Xiaoid was a bit out of range.
That bait though.
Yep.
That bait. They knew the Ferrari couldn't resist going for the kill on maybe, but now he pops a haste and heads up to top lane. Yao on 2/3 HP is going to be the target here. Overload to start things off, the Timber Chain to get him into the trees, but I don't think there's too much chance of escaping.
He's just going to do as much as he can. Maybe rotates in as well, but he might die.
Well, Ferrari's really low. He's going to take one right click. Yeah, maybe gets the kill with the help of the tower. And one...
Faith?
Oh, yeah. Doesn't even need to hit him. No need to draw the tower aggro. The poison touch is more than enough. While down on bot lane, without even having level 6 on Sylar, how?
Burning went in for the kill.
Burning went for the clap and then didn't have mana for ulti.
He popped 6 charges, but it wasn't enough, so didn't do his math correctly. Bit unfortunate.
Damn. So now that gives a nice little bonus over to Sylar. Heading into that Midas with 1200 gold in his pocket.
Good.
Top lane. Yao gets stunned up as soon as he TP's in, but the tower is into die range and Chuan shredded here by Yao on this Timbersaw.
He makes a good play. He runs towards the enemy tower instead, so preventing any reinitiation. But Ferrari's rotated as well. It's an all-out brawl as predicted. Tower falls.
Yao
So is he gonna zip in?
jumps over the Timber Chain. Now good telekinesis from MMY will save Yao for now. And Ferrari can't get the Vortex down.
Everybody's fighting everywhere, pretty much.
Well, we're still waiting for Blink Dagger up on Burning. 600 gold away from that. LGD look like they're pretty content just to sit back and wait a little bit. Shadowfiend nearly has mech, which usually indicates, heavy pressure into towers. But they're surely going to be the ones defending. Against the long-range initiation from Storm, Brewmaster, Bristleback diving with the help of Dazzle.
They need the mech for sure. I mean, they're fighting constantly. It's no big surprise here. I wouldn't even be surprised if Lure also goes for the mech on his Bristleback. I think that's also a very viable option. He's got the bottle for the mana regen, I guess.
Yeah, it's pretty standard. He picks up the buckler as well, so 99% sure he's going to be heading into that. Bot lane Burning, feeling the heat as Lina launches some Dragon
Smoke up Chuan. Do they really want to dive this though?
Burning pops the ulti really far back.
Yeah.
He's still gonna find Lina. He sent her up into the air, but ulti's expiring.
Burning
has a clap. He's got a crit. Xiaowei turns back around. Light Strike Array and Burning's dead. That was one of the weirdest series of events I have ever seen. We've gone from Burning in the previous game, using Omni Slash and picking up Aegis the Immortal during it, and everyone basically jizzing their pants, to now Burning popping ulti 3000 range away from his target and diving onto tier 2.
The Burden and the Bee God not too far away apparently. That's a bit different from game to game, I guess. He was probably just banking on the fact that Tron could definitely hit the Impale and buying enough time to close the distance, but even that would have been a really risky play overall. Just popping a Brewmaster out for a solo Lina, not even ensuring the kill, and probably dying as a result. So LGD, they take the lead. I think only a 4-kill lead there. Yao TP back to a spot lane and pressuring the tower a little bit. Chuan, he's managed to hit level 6. There's a smoke gang coming though.
Yeah, they placed an observer ward and spotted him out. Really well played there. LGD towing the line with the smoke, not showing themselves too early. So now when they go into this mid lane, sure, there's 4 from IG. But they're farming ancients, they're losing HP, they're running around, they're not expecting this aggressive wraparound. Look at all these the dire observer wards, not just that one. One here, then one here. They have literally gone on a mission with this smoke.
They're baiting maybe, right? Surely they are. They're baiting maybe pretty hard. I mean, he's gonna push in the lane with the... Now it's a bit obvious, pushing it in with the illusion. They know where they're standing, the observer was seeing them. Yes. And Lion hit 6, but Lina is 6 as well. And they are no fighting shit with Luo being so low on HP.
Burning finally has his blink dagger, so he's gonna be looking to jump around a little bit with the help of Ferrari. Chuan, like you said, has the Finger of Death available. But this Storm Spirit, he needs to get his farm on. He needs to get those items up.
So easy. I mean, LGD are taking objectives now. Bot tower is really, really low, so maybe it's just gonna, right-click it to death. Right-click it down, I guess. They have Glyph to stall once again, just to annoy them a little bit, but looks like they are not even gonna bother.
Up on top lane, Burning with a blink dagger. Primal splits back off cooldown. This time he can jump onto a hero and use it. It looks like Sylar.
Can kill Sylar.
It's going to be difficult, but
8-6 charges and Scorched Earth. I don't think they can kill him.
Yeah, I guess so. So it looks like they just backed themselves up. The wraparound once again coming in from the right as mid lane. Looks like they're going to get taken out here.
Run into them here.
He could get instantly killed. Yao, I don't even know if Yao's nuke damage is needed, just with Xiao 8 there. Laguna Blade with a Dragon Slave and Light Strike Ray. Faith. Oh man, you're dead. You are dead. Storm Spirit zipping in to try and find some damage back onto MMY. And it looks like they'll find him. The Shadow Wave was stolen by the Rubik, but nevertheless goes down. Nice double raise there. Luo gets nuked down, but here comes the B-God with the Primal Split. Brewmaster takes one out. Luo with a double kill. Ferrari is now doomed up. Sylar joins the fight and will slow down Ferrari's aggression.
Oh, he dies to the Death Requiem.
But so far, that's a 4 for 2?
Make it 5 for 2. 5 for 3, I think, right? Never mind.
Who was the third one? Because Dazzle died first.
It's 5 for 2.
And then the Storm is 5 for 2.
Yeah. Brewmaster Split doing work here. Who got the triple? Bristleback? Yeah.
Well, exactly. It was Bristle's mech that did a lot of work there. Oh no way! Luo going in on MMY. The clap stolen by the Rubik. Turns back around. Now the stun onto Xiao 8. Burning coming in. Stick charge is not available. He'll get the crit down, but Light Strike Array not really going to do too much to save you. As Luo seizes the Rubik, but takes out the Lina instead.
That was incredibly well timed there for Trump, because it was the second TP, so it was a 4-second TP, and he landed the Impel just as Lina was landing. Instantly preventing Lina from casting any spells whatsoever. She managed to get one Light Strike Array off, but Luo rather deftly dodging it and killing the Fire Woman.
I mean, that was LGD thinking, okay, we're stronger right now. We've got the item advantage, we've got mech, we've got Doom, we've got all of these things just to throw down into the fight against IG. But IG, the stars kind of aligned for them. Brewmaster was there ready with Primal Split and Blink. The Storm Spirit managed to get the opening into that fight. And the Bristleback had mech. Mech on Bristleback. He was just continually stacking up Quill Sprays. And there was nothing LGD could really do to keep the sustained damage level that IG had.
Maybe trying to, once again, just group up as 5. Because maybe did enter the fight a bit late, though. Like, they were not all grouped up. At first, it was only really the 2 supports plus Timbersaw. And they used all their spells. Everything was on cooldown. And then IG instantly pounced.
Is Sylar going straight into BKB after Midas? He's got the Ogre Club. And I guess there's nothing else really you'd go for on the Doom.
It's Sylar.
No
he could go for an Agnum Scepter with the Ogre Club, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. No Blink, no Vlads, no Blade Mail, just going straight into that BKB. And up against Lion, Storm, and Brewmaster. He definitely has some reasons.
I think the only hero, well, only 2 heroes I can think of where he doesn't go BKB first are like Medusa and Lycan. Those are like the only two.
Everything.
Lycan,
Well,
he gets
AM.
eventually.
AM. Like AM and like
he buys like Battle Fury, Mantis and then BKB though.
Yeah, sometimes with Vlad's in between, depending on how things are going. But yeah, BKB is very often a second or third item for Sylar, depending on who he's, well, not really depending on who he's against, but depending on what hero he's playing. Burning up on this top lane now, Treads and Blink. Do you reckon he goes for a BKB? It feels like they need at least one Lincolns on the team.
But not right now, I think.
No.
I mean, you can turn the Basilisk into an early Vlad, so it's gonna help against the Presence of the Dark Lord, I guess.
Yeah, oh, he's found. Oh man, that was close. He dropped his item. He's gonna get taken out.
Tron? Okay.
Continues running forward.
Forwards, not the best choice. And MOY steals Finger.
Oh dear.
Laguna and Finger on your team. That's gonna be fun.
That was super close because the Timbersaw dropped his arcane boots, and I think he was going to drop his point booster to use the Soul Ring, to get that mana percentage-based boost back.
Yeah.
And he picked them up just before he got hexed and stunned. Very, very lucky that the line wasn't half a second sooner, or else he would have been losing out on a bunch of gold, and really would. That would really piss someone off.
In net worth graph, really not showing too much. It's fairly even overall. Going back into IG's favor a little bit after that one fight in their own jungle. And IG with Brewmaster level 2 split really want to take that tower, and they probably can. I mean, Bristol is really tanky as well. Ferrari pops the Haste Rune. Just in case he zips in.
Sylar here, not allowing him to get off the Doom, and now the Brewmaster with a split. They'll take out Ferrari with a couple of well-timed raises. And now LGD with this mech maybe looking to turn things back around as Faith is doomed and dead. Shao 8 taking the full brunt of that primal split as Shadowfiend's sent it back up into the air again. Bristleback continues fighting, but Yao's on the chase. Burning needs to keep running back over here. Luo turns back around to Maybe, but he's lifted up into the air. Maybe with a Requiem drops him down to about half of his HP. As Bristleback tries to run but will not succeed. But Burning.
Ferrari though with the Bloodstones coming back in.
Oh
Burning
no, Maybe. Maybe. Oh,
so
dear.
they killed the Storm though, and Ferrari comes back in and at least gets 2 Bloodstone charges in terms of as consolation. Overall, even fight, I would say. What does the fight recap say? IG favored apparently. Although I didn't count the Storm death and the Dazzle death, so it's a bit late. I guess it was even after all. They took down the tier 1 tower though, which is a nice objective.
Shadowfiend with the Yule's mech, and they're going into BKB next. No Blink Dagger for him. So often with the Yules we see the Blink Dagger to combo up with it, both defensively and offensively.
I think I can kind of understand it though. It's mostly like Storm zips in, Brewmaster blinks in, Bristleback charges in, so mostly it's currently IG are the aggressors. I think Doom could really use a blink though. Would be awesome if we can start off the fight with a blink Doom on, say, it's Storm Spirit or Brewmaster or Dazzle line. There's so many good targets to Doom.
Yeah. Net worth-wise, 10k up on Luo, the Bristleback leading the charge with a BKB of his own, 9,000 for the Shadowfiend, and Storm Spirit, he's catching up, he's getting there. Bloodstone is done, he had that in the last fight and lost a couple of charges. But they're hunting now, heading through.
Oh, they see Maybe with the Yosa award.
They're gonna see him, they're gonna get him, Maybe held in place, even the weave. Through now for good measure, Maybe tries to keep him here as long as he can with the mech, with the Yules. Just allowing Yao to get in here. Burning pops primal split now. Turns around. I don't know. They've got the damage, and it looks like with a Shadow Wave. Okay, with a Shadow Wave, they nuke him down almost instantly. The Laguna Blade lands on Ferrari's head, but MMY, even with a steal, doesn't manage to keep himself healed up for long enough.
Sylar dooms the Storm, but there's a Dazzle to prevent anything really. Burning comes back in. Shadowgrave getting popped there, Burn, Ferrari, is he gonna tick down to the Doom? He's still running for quite some time, he's gonna get denied.
It's Ag's Doom.
Oh, that's nice, good, he didn't go for BKB, I'm happy. But he does get denied and is gonna respawn in short order. He bought items before he died as well, he knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah, and once again, IG run away with that fight. Primal Split proving to be a little bit too much for LGD, you're sending Shadowfiend into the air multiple times. Killing off Yao. Like almost instantly, it felt like with that with the shadow wave.
The LGD, they know it's happening, but can they stop it? They know that Brewmaster doesn't have split up. Maybe it's going to throw one race on the high ground, but they can't really get in there though. So that's Storm Spirit with an Aegis. He instantly zips across, trying to find Xiao 8.
And with the Finger of Death, they'll definitely take him down. Now, 4 men from LGD hiding behind their own tier 2. Just gonna have to back themselves up to base because IG, you don't know where they are, don't know where they're going. Do you smoke up? You don't have one.
Overall, LGD, they don't really have an initiator, in contrast to IG, who have Blink Brewmaster, they have Storm, and soon to be Lion Blink as well. And LGD, they have nobody who can actually start a fight that easily. I mean, we could really use a Blink deck on either the Doom or the Rubik, I guess, or Yule Scepter on, okay, Ferrari zips again. Maybe he's trying to go for the Requiem, he times it nicely and does do a lot of damage, but no teammates to actually take advantage of the fact.
Oh, and again, that comes back to what you were just saying. There's no blinks or forces. There's nothing for them to close the gap or actually go and help their teammates. They are very immobile right now. Whereas IG, they can cross the map within a matter of seconds. They've got TPs, zips, jumps, blinks. Even
Bristleback. Top lane.
Even
There's a smoked lion.
He tries to TP out, but he can't quite get there. Get locked down and taken down by the 5-man rotating death squad. Well, 4-man, because Burning's still towards mid lane.
Yeah, overall, IG is doing a really good job. LGD, they had one point they had a nice little advantage there with the mech, but after that one disastrous fight in IG's jungle, it's getting turned around completely. And they have no way of dealing with the Bristleback right now. He's just running rampant. They have no damage to kill him.
Well, they've got the damage in the Timber Saw, but it's actually applying that damage onto a target that's the difficulty. They rely so heavily on telekinesis. That is the one skill they've got, really, that can start off a fight. You're talking about them not having initiators. If MMY, your 5-role support here, is your main initiator, there's a slight issue. Because he doesn't have Blink, he doesn't have Force Staff. He has to run in there, telekinesis, and then most likely die.
Yeah, but right now IG are just taking full advantage of the fact of no initiation abilities from LGD. They take down the last outer tower. No, actually there's one more standing. So tier 2 mid's gonna fall to IG. Rubik is not too far off his Blink dagger, roughly only 70 gold short.
Well, they take the objective, they back themselves up. Roshan will find out when that respawns in a good 6 minutes or so. IG, it feels like such a long time ago that IG went and took that Roche because of what's happened. But it was only a couple of minutes. Like they've gone and taken tier 2s, they've taken over the enemy jungle, they got walls down, they've like fought twice. They've had two small skirmishes. I don't want to say team fights, you know, it's sort of been 5 versus 2, 5 versus 3, finding a pick off on the Shadow Fiend and then the Doom.
I believe overall IG's warding has been superior to LGD's by far. Like they constantly have vision of the enemy jungle, so they can go for those pick-off plays.
Yeah, you could definitely see in the terms of net worth that LGD did have that slight lead, about 2,500 early on in the game for the first 14, 15 minutes or so with the Doom.
Blink, Rubik, lift, but nobody else can follow up. And they know the ward's there, they just kind of walked up there and planted it, so I'm expecting Sentry wards to be purchased up by either Faith or Tron, and then, oh never mind, here's a gem, it's fine.
Of course. So Burning did go for that, Vlad's like you said, and then BKB is not too far away. Yeah, it's on the courier. Mithril Hammer on the way to him. Except he has the recipe in the stash. The courier must have been full and delivering all sorts of stuff to people. As Lure has Sanjin Yasha.
Full Sanjin Yasha, yeah. That's the pick up there. I don't think Burning's even too concerned. I mean, if they can force the Doom onto Burning, then Storm and Bristleback can just do whatever they want, really.
They jump onto Yao. Finger of Death, okay, yeah. Storm just zips across half the map as Ferrari cleans up with Lure on Chuan. Faith de-warding up on that Spire as they'll take tier 2. The final outer tower here. And LGD, they're crumbling.
Yeah, it's getting really hard. Ferrari with Aegis and Bloodstone charges. Difficult to take down. They need a refresher on Doom, basically, if they want to stand a chance of winning this.
We've now defensively, well, I say defensively, but on their own teammates so they can break high ground to get up there. Not aggressively onto the enemy. But Light Strike Array, the Chakrams, Whirling Death, all of this spam being thrown out, it just expires. And I don't know if that's a signal to IG to say just back up. We don't have that fallback mechanism right now. Just wait for the next Roshan. We've done the economical damage. We've slowed down LGD. We are ahead. There's no reason to go balls deep and lose a fight here.
No, they can just control the map. They have the gem, so they can take away all of LG's wood. There's currently only one sitting on the hill to the entrance of the jungle that's still there. And LGD are gonna get starved out very soon. And IG probably found out the next big item is DD Rune on Storm. Is he gonna zip onto maybe? Nope, doesn't look like it. They see Xiao 8. Although Tron wants to go for the Lina, he misses the Impale though. Long range zip coming in for Ferrari. Is he gonna continue going for it?
No.
Puts on the Orchid, but no. That's it.
Really did rely on that Earth Spike. Landing on the Lina there, but not quite getting it. Smoke now though from LGD. They want to try and make something happen. They need to force a fight where IG aren't quite ready, but Bristleback, he's not the target you really want to be going for. He pops his BKB and he turns back around. 1 versus 4. Luo says, okay, bring it on then. Ferrari gonna get the Requiem. No, good hex there from Chuan. Turning things back around. Maybe gonna get taken out as Burning jumps in. Now he brings the primal split. Xiao 8 and Sala, they're not long for this world as LGD get absolutely demolished by Ferrari, taking a triple kill.
That's GG. Yeah, there we go. They call it. Bristleback 1-on-4, easy. As I said, they can't deal with him really. And if they doom him, which is what they did, Ferrari zips in as Stormstorm with the DD Rune just cleans up house. I mean, LGD, I think the lanes just didn't work out for them. I mean, the aggro trident with Doom was a failed experiment, I guess. That's what you can call it. IG just superior overall, and they first picked the Storm. LGD, they kinda tried to counterpick it in a way, but the second pick, Rubik, baffled me quite a lot. I don't think the Rubik was such a good pick there. I mean, he's not worth second picking at least. And I think they could have done a lot more overall, maybe put offlane Doom instead, get another Sylar hero. It didn't work out, so in 28 minutes, it's game over, and let's see if Invictus Gaming can make it a 4-0 sweep today.
Yeah, they've done very well so far. We'll be back with game 2 in a couple of minutes, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned.